Hello, good morning and welcome to Spain. I'm sitting in the first hotel bedroom at the Goya. I'm looking forward to setting off out onto the narrow gauge railway up to Denia. Back in 2006 they just started to replace the old trains with these new trams. I expect by now they're all trams, and the route up to Denia involves a change of train halfway up. The video this month though is about Denia itself as I saw it in 2006. Lovely place by the sea with a harbour and a port, and my memory tells me that it was a most enjoyable visit because the real estate company who I was negotiating with to buy an apartment in Spain had sent down a Romanian girl to look after me, and they'd sent her in a very nice upmarket SUV. She took me down to Benidorm police station. That's not as bad as it sounds. That's where you have to go to get your tax number to be allowed to buy property in Spain, and so she was taking care of that, and she also took me into a notary office in Benidorm to register a power of attorney. I decided to use Denia as my base for this trip, and it was a great place to stay. I'd recommend it, and one day I will go back and see it again. As you can see, there's a fair bit of work going on around the harbour area, and you will also see that the rain in Spain doesn't mainly lie on the plain. This is on the Mediterranean coast. It was August and it rained, so there's a few wet pictures for you to see as well. To me, the most enjoyable part of being in Spain is the nightlife. To come out of my hotel after a little snooze in the afternoon and wander the streets. It's still warm, everybody's out there eating and drinking, the atmosphere is fantastic, and they really have a good time. I do miss that at the moment. We're moving on now from the Alicante province to the Valencia province, and I get the train up to Oropesa del Mar, which is the area where I had invested in an apartment which was still being built in 2006. So as you come off the train at Oropesa, this is the first beach that you get to walk along. It's called Morell de Goth, and you can head along there. And I don't remember there being a mobile bank branch there, but there's lots of things that have changed in the last 14 years. And you walk along that beach towards the hotel complex that is known as Marina d'Or. A number of the shops are still there, but things like the spa aren't. There's a few spas disappeared over the years. And as you get to the hotel area, there's a beach strip that's no longer there because it got eroded. All the palm trees along the front got washed away, and that's been totally rebuilt. And if you watch my more recent videos, you'll have seen how that turned out. The next beach is Les Templarias, and on the way to that you have to walk through the gardens. The gardens are the best part of Marina d'Or in my opinion. So you've got a range of things to interest you, from koi carp to birds of various sorts, statues, gardens, cactus. Some of the gardens have background music playing, and they're all themed gardens from various countries around the world. I'm familiar with these rock speakers that they use because I used to put them into aquariums. So everybody's taking their photographs here. I'm moving on, and further down Les Templarias beach I can either take the road train or I can walk. But to be honest, walking along the beach is a fantastic experience, particularly if you live in a city and you don't often get the chance to get out in the fresh air. The big marquee with the label Marina d'Or Golf on the front was there to promote a brand new holiday resort of a Disney proportion that never actually came to fruition because of the 2008-2009 property and banking crash. Anyway, I moved down to where my apartment was being built. It was more or less in place. The road outside was still fenced off, but I could have a look up to the 5th floor and see where my apartment was going to be. And to get some perspective on where the apartment block is situated, I had a bit of a wander round. Now, behind the apartments, there's a whole load of wasteland, and they were using this to store all their building materials at the time. And this is a piece of land between the apartments and the railway line. To prove it's a railway line, you'll see a train in a minute. And they eventually built a substation, an Iberdrola substation right behind our block. But at this point, there's just building materials. I also wandered down onto the beach and then turned around and looked back at where the apartments are being built, and that gives you an idea of how far away from the beach we are when you step out the front door and walk to the beach. You can't park your car on the beach anymore, but obviously you could then. I'd forgotten that. Well, that was my investigation of the apartment area in the Marina d'Or resort. Time to head back to the station and get the train and head north. One final look round, a different way this time. There's a piece of land on a hill where there's a tower called the Torre del Rey, and there's a walk all around the headland, which has got some interesting rock formations and just generally a nice atmosphere. And it takes you around to a beach called Playa de la Concha, which is also very popular and has hotels and shops and things. In fact, it's probably more like a resort around at Playa La Concha than it is in Marina d'Or itself. So that was my extensive look round Oropesa del Mar in 2006, and I stayed in hotels at that time, and I put my camera on top of the old style TVs, as you could in those days, so I could still do my little talks to camera. I'll see you soon.